This is another episode of Flat Earth Falsities. This time we're going to talk about hot spots and other reflections. Another common flat Earth claim is that so-called hot spots prove the sun is very close, rather than the evidence-based scientific conclusion that it is 93 million miles away. This claim was popularized by Eric Dubay in his video called 200 Proofs Earth is Not a Spinning Ball.
124. Amateur balloon footage taken above the clouds has provided stunning visual proof that the sun cannot be millions of miles away. In several shots, you can see a clear hot spot reflecting on the clouds directly below the sun's spotlight-like influence. If the sun were actually millions of miles away, such a small, localized hot spot could not occur.
The hot spot he shows, and the one most often shown, is from this dog cam high-altitude balloon footage. As a quick side note, despite what flat earthers will try to say, this video clearly does show the curvature of the Earth, and it is not due to lens distortion, as expertly demonstrated in a video by Flow Plus. There are two cameras on the balloon. One has a wide-angle lens, and you can tell this because when the horizon moves to the bottom of the field of view, it actually appears to be concave. And then it appears to bend back up to convex when near the top of the frame. This is typical of lens distortion from a wide-angle lens. But the other camera does not have a wide-angle lens, which you can clearly tell because the horizon does not bend up and down. So the curvature you can clearly see on this camera is not due to lens distortion. And furthermore, Flow Plus uses an ingenious technique to further demonstrate the curve. By compressing the image laterally, with a straight line added as a reference. The line remains straight, but the curve gets even more pronounced, clearly showing the curve is real. But back to the hotspot seen in the video. Flat earthers claim that this hotspot could not occur if the sun were so far away, and it must be really close. But is this true? No, not at all. First of all, while it appears this hotspot is on the clouds, it is actually reflecting off water below the clouds. The balloon was launched from Wasbeck, Germany, and the Baltic Sea to the east is clearly seen in other parts of the video. There is a break in the thickest clouds at this line, revealing the reflective sea below. Water can act like a mirror and reflect an image of the sun directly to the viewer. That is all a hotspot is, a direct reflection of the disk of the sun. There are many photos of the sun reflecting off of water that creates a similar effect, like these. Do you think the sun is hovering directly over this spot on the water? Or over this one? Or over this one? No, of course not. The water is just reflecting an image of the distant sun in the background. Hotspots do not usually occur on clouds because they tend to scatter the light diffusely in all directions, rather than reflect it like water can. In fact, I looked for other hotspots on clouds and really could not find any. This dog cam image looks like it's on clouds, but it's not. It's on water. But you can find lots of photos from above the clouds with a bright sun, but there is no hotspot. If the sun were really close, and it ever causes a hotspot on clouds, then why doesn't it always cause a hotspot on everything, all the time? This is just another example of flat earthers cherry-picking data that seems to support their belief. Here is a video taken from a plane of a series of hotspots reflecting off the water below. Notice how the reflection moves along with the viewer in the plane. This proves it is not caused by a close sun shining on one small spot, but it is a reflection of the sun far in the distant background. unless you think the sun is chasing the plane. When traveling in a plane or a car or a train in a straight line, have you noticed how things close to you seem to zip by, while farther things like distant mountains seem to hardly move at all? This is called parallax. The sun is so far away that it will stay completely stationary in your view when moving in a straight line, which creates the illusion that it is following you. That is why these reflections of the sun in the water seem to follow the plane. If the sun were as close as flat earthers claim it is, this would not happen. Parallax is just one of the many ways we know the sun is millions of miles away. And other surfaces can reflect hot spots as well. Look at this photo I took of a car. Oh my God, the sun is about to crash into this car. Oh no, look out! The sun is hovering right next to this building. No, of course that is absurd. It's just a reflection of the visible disk of the sun caused by the reflective surfaces. The same goes for all hotspots. Now, look again at the dog cam image and realize that the sun is not directly over that spot. That's absurd. But it is millions of miles behind it, reflecting its image off the water to the camera. It in no way indicates the sun must be very close. Here is another related claim by Eric Dubay, which is often repeated by flat earthers.
127. The fact that the sun and moon's reflections on water always form a straight line path from the horizon to the observer proves the Earth is not a ball. If the Earth's surface was curved, it would be impossible for the reflected light to curve over the ball from horizon to observer.
This is another silly argument. When water is still, it tends to reflect like a mirror, as I have shown. This is also called specular reflection. But the ocean is rarely still, and usually has millions of tiny ripples across its surface. These ripples will reflect the sunlight in all directions. This is called diffuse reflection. But the most direct path of the reflecting sunlight off these ripples will tend to form a line across the surface of the water, directly in line with the sun from the viewer's perspective. Because these are tiny individual reflections, the subtle curvature of the Earth will have no discernible effect on them. Think about it. Each tiny ripple is in clear view of the sun above the horizon, and as the water moves, it bounces the light in all directions. From the viewer's perspective, this results in a line of brightly lit water, as the most direct light rays from the sun shine down to the water and reflect back up to the viewer's eyes. Remember, the surface of the Earth only curves 1 degree every 69 miles, so there is no reason to expect that the curvature would have a visible impact on the line of solar reflections visible to the viewer. It is way too subtle to see. The flat Earth argument here really makes no sense. They simply don't understand how light reflection works. Like many other things they don't understand. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other Flat Earth Falsities videos, and also the series Proving the Earth is Not Flat. And please like, subscribe, and share.